Most of you have had my class before and pretty much know what to expect. I want to give you a quick little intro on VC151, which is digital to print, and the book is Print Production with Adobe Creative Suite Applications. Now, last year the students really enjoyed this class. The information is info that you really need to know. Yeah, it's information that changes, but at this point, let's face it, what doesn't change with the Adobe applications? Claudia has put a training series on lynda.com, so if you ever get the opportunity to go on lynda.com, watch her tutorial, which is based on this book, and you'll get a lot out of it. It's really great information. What the students said last year was that this information is the info that you really just need to know, and you don't get it anywhere else. So it's sort of putting all this pertinent information together. Printing has gone on for centuries, so we'll take a look at the history of print, and then we'll also take a look at a lot of the information that you need to know right now if you're going to work for a newspaper or, a digital print shop. We talk about what we'll be doing during the week. And as usual, you'll be posting to the discussion forum. In week 1, it'll be introducing yourself as usual, and this will get you acquainted with some of your classmates from other courses that you took. We'll also be reading the book, so this tells you exactly what to read to get started. Now, instead of listing important terms in each chapter, I've left this part a little bit up to you, and you'll understand why in a moment when I talk about the main project for this course. What I've done is just listed the main points of what goes on in the chapters, and there is a lot of terms here, and instead of having you just define the terms, what I'm going to have you do is pick 10 subjects or areas of the chapter and go into a little bit of depth in those 10 areas, or you can even pick 5 areas and double up on the information that you put together for the terms. So each week you'll have 20 points to come up with to write about these areas. And the reason this is a little more applicable to this class is because our project for this class is going to be to put together a 12-page newsletter on information that we collect. The book, of course, introduces subjects, but then you're going to do further research on those areas, and you're going to compile all of the key information that is key to you, what your interests are. Compile all of that information into a newsletter. So you will be practicing your InDesign skills as well as Illustrator and Photoshop. Most of you are getting ready to graduate at this point, so you'll be thinking of what you're going to do with all this information that you've learned at UCC. And here's Claudia McHugh, and she has some of her videos are out on YouTube, so I'm going to include all of the ones that are. And she'll just give a brief introduction to her book and her class so you can get to know her a little bit better and why she's presenting this information. She is a wealth of information in the print industry, and so I would look her up online and find out what all she has presented, because she is just full of information about this class. But here's the terms, and there are 10 subject areas out of that chapter list, and you can see some of this information is just a couple sentences and some of it's a paragraph, and I'll let you choose, but it really should be written in your words versus something just copied out of a book or copied out of the help files. The main thing about this course is that you are really going to want to grasp the terms and grasp the information. It isn't something that you can just go back into InDesign and look up. So that's the difference there. So what I just showed you is worth about 20 points. Let's go ahead and look at some examples here. I've got students from last year, and here is the cover page. I'll go ahead and reduce it so it fits a little bit better on the screen. And I'll go one more. Pixels and Ink, a graphic designer's guide to printing. And so we put this lovely image in. I love this cover of his magazine. You can see that there are 12 pages, and it's saved as a PDF. These assignments also that you put together at the very end, we'll share these and review these with the class. So you'll upload it to a peer review Dropbox, and then you'll review so many other students' files, and we'll do this in Adobe Acrobat, where you can actually get in and create the post-it notes and stickies and make comments to different parts of their pages. It's a really good opportunity to review other people's work and have other people review your work, same people that learned exactly what you did in the class. And so here we have kind of the editorial information of the newsletter, and we have the table of contents on the first page as well. And then we'll get into the magazine itself, and again, this will be a compilation of the things that are important to you. Some of this text certainly can be copied from other areas, but you'll want to format it. There is a page that has specifications on what you need to do to put together your newsletter. And that means coming up with the fonts and the print and the colors and the headers and the footers, the whole bit. So we'll just breeze through each of these magazines so you can get an idea of what kind of information you're going to be compiling throughout this course. Printing tips, and the main thing about this is that you'll want to collect information that you can use as a resource. So it could be information that, yes, it may change frequently, but at least it will be information that will be a base for you to remember the different terms and what they're used for if you are going into a printing industry. So you can see that he's been really creative here with talking about different inkjet printers, raster images, really nicely laid out. Great colors, the header, the footer is wonderful. I love this little desktop printer spitting out an image, drop shadow on a box. And of course the back with a list of user groups and different resources. So that is one example. Here is another example. And I'll go ahead and take this down to 50%. And you can see here's the cover page, table of contents, and of course you know that these are colors, yellow, magenta, cyan, and black. A little bit of humor there, and some different images that talk about the gamuts, the different kinds of binding, so you can have a glance and understand which type it is, and layouts for different books, embossing symbols, cartoons, and a workflow. This is really helpful. Transparent images, and the back cover with the with an ISBN number and the whole bit. Okay, and then we'll take a look at the last one. Again, I'll change this to so here's the cover of the magazine, and color as in, the Canadian way of spelling color. Color tips, color design, and talking about CMYK and U. So this is going to be all about color. I love this section on the first page with the table of contents and a lovely quote. Monitor calibration, really important information. And then pre-press techniques. You can see the backdrop that she's created. Really nice design. Nice color schemes, good contrast. Very creative backdrops here, along with the information. And she's actually gone into business so she can use this as a resource. Do's and don'ts, more cartoons, getting the color that you want. Cheat sheets down here. Really great information that she can just keep. It sort of puts this whole class together in a 12-page document.